Welcome back in my little filming corner, if you want to call it like that. Thanks for tuning in again, and welcome to well, what are we doing today? We are, first of all, I'm presenting three new lures, or three new models of lures that are new to the SFL range, the Street Fishing London shop, the online shop. Some of them exclusively for the UK, some of them not, but all of them incredibly delicious. We are talking about the Raid head swimmer Libero. So that's been on for a few weeks now. This is actually the second batch that just came in. I was like, I need to tell people about this lure a bit more. We are also talking about the sleeper gill from Megabass. There we go. This has been in for a week and a bit. Very nice lure. I'm gonna get slightly deeper into it in a sec. And we are also talking about the dark sleeper that's been on the market for some time. The sleeper gill as well, but quite hard to get in the UK, so absolutely have an eye out on our website. The dark sleeper, incredibly still kind of a newish product, but at the same time already almost a classic for some people, and incredibly popular all over the States and also Europe, for all sorts of different fishing styles, types of waters, and kind of, yeah, it's just really versatile. And the size of the dark sleeper, so the sleeper gill comes in one size, and the dark sleeper comes in two sizes for us. This which is, well, 3/4 of an ounce, so this one comes in 21 grams complete lure weight, and then the smaller one comes in 7 grams and in 10 grams, obviously for different styles of fishing. I think let's start with the head swimmer Libero. I have actually, so if you look at the, I had one open here somewhere, there we go. If you look at the pack, you'll see one lure and one spare body, but the way it's packaged, actually, open it up and it doubles up. So what you actually get for the price, which of course is not cheap, we all know it, you actually get 2 full lures and 2 spare bodies. So it is not too bad in the end. I'll pop it open and I'll quickly give you a little tour of the lure. There we go. And my thoughts on it. So, first impressions. Let's just talk about the first impression. There we go. We've got obviously a paddle tail lure, a fish imitation, a bait fish imitation. This is now a white pattern, or pearl, however you want to call it. How do they call it? They call it juketsu. Please pop down in the comments if you know what that means, translate it, because I don't. Paddle tail with a lead jig head, which is quite large compared to the body. So you can see it is definitely a lure that we are most probably going to fish close to the bottom, depending on the depth, obviously. This one is a 5 gram model. It comes in 5 and 7 grams. You can see it there on the bottom. So that is the first impressions. A paddle tail, a simple paddle tail almost. So now on secondary looks, what can we see? We can see a little weed guard here. Very subtle. Very subtle. One thing about lures that are designed for bass fishing, which obviously a lot of the Japanese are, is the weed guards are very sturdy, often very thick mono, sometimes even thick wire, metal wire. Obviously that is not something we can work with here when we fish for perch, because we fish with very light rods sometimes, and we need to be able to set that hook past that weed guard really nice and easy, and we don't fish 60-gram rods and 40-pound braids, obviously, like some of the bass fishermen do. So I am very happy that this weed guard is a little double weed guard, and it's very subtle, so that'll go past very easily when the fish bites down on it, any size perch really, and then that incredibly sharp hook will do the rest and nail the fish confidently. Another thing that is very obvious, we've got a lovely little blade on the bottom, which is, yeah, it comes by default with this. Obviously an underblade is not a completely new thing. Quite a lot of people add that on to their soft lures already. There's jig heads that come with a little eye on the bottom as well, where you can add your little underspin there, little blade. This lure comes by default with it. You can obviously remove it if you don't want it. I don't see any reasons why you wanted to remove it, for a slightly more subtle presentation maybe, or if you want to get maybe a couple of extra meters on the casting, but I don't think casting is going to be a major issue with this lure. I say that because of the way, first of all, the way the head is shaped. So if you look at this head on, you see the head is wider than the body of the lure, so you can't see the body of the lure, if that makes sense. So that thing would absolutely fly. So when that goes straight into the wind, there's no body of the lure. You obviously have the tail, but the main body of the lure is hidden behind the head, which is absolutely great. Another thing that is something I think is worth mentioning is the very thin root of the tail, which is something really well designed, I think, and is something I really look out for on my paddle tails, because I do want that paddle to work on a slow retrieve. I don't always want to fish fast. I want to be able to fish quick and be confident that my lure works underneath the water, and a big paddle with a thin tail root is a very good sign. Hooks are incredibly sharp. If you look at the shape of the head, very flat on the bottom and very wide, as I said already, which obviously really helps to stay on top of obstacles, to stay on top of rocks, rather than sliding in between them. So a little bit like the concept of a football jig, you know, which is made wider so it doesn't slide into the rocks. This is very kind of similar kind of concept. So it likes if there's kind of a gap in between rocks, it needs to be quite big, that gap, for this one to slide into. And obviously you still have the weed guard as well, which does help so the hook doesn't immediately bury into wood or takes lots of weed on the retrieve and makes the lure unfishable or unattractive to fish, obviously. So incredible little lure. As I said, 5 and 7 grams. We've got it in 1, 2, 3 different colors. So the white one, then a little Wakasagi, and a little, I'm not actually sure how this one is called, but I got this one in, it's like a Gill, it's like a Chicago Gill there. Obviously stripes, perch, connect the dots, there we go. So yeah, where am I gonna use this? I kind of thought about slightly larger rivers. I am thinking Thames, Great Ouse, River Severn, all those kind of rivers. For me personally, any time of the year really, fish it close to the bottom in little hops, a bit more aggressively in the warmer months, and this should pick up definitely some perch, chub, obviously pike. With the price of these, I'll fish them with wire anyway, with a titanium wire obviously. I'll pop your link for a suitable wire for this one down below as well. Bass fishing, saltwater fishing, I'm definitely going to chuck the 7-gram version around groins here in Brighton. I'm definitely going to pick up mackies on them. I'm definitely going to pick up some wrasse on them when I go down to Portland, hopefully this year, or maybe even a bit further far. So I'm definitely going to chuck that for the salty species as well. The 5-gram one in heavy flow for chub. And trout will grab them as well. Very versatile. It's a paddle tail. It's 60 millimeters long, so 6 centimeters. Can't really get more versatile for a lure than that. Absolutely stunning, obviously. Designed, thought through, and then obviously also manufactured. I mean, it is a really, really, really nice lure. So yeah, that is that. And yeah, let me go over to some of the Megabass stuff. I'm going to put this back. If you stay tuned and stay here and watch until the end, or at some point, maybe not right at the end, maybe there might be a little giveaway. I can't quite guarantee it, but maybe there will. Over to the Megabass goodies. Goodies. So let's start with the sleeper gill. So sleeper gill, slightly newer than the dark sleeper. I'll show it to you in the package because I think it is beautiful. 3/4 of an ounce, or for Europeans, 21 grams. That's the full lure weight, obviously. So I am thinking fishing this in places, so obviously it's a big volume to the lure, so people think, oof, 21 grams, you know, if you're fishing a 4-inch, 5-inch lure with a 10 gram, 11, 12 gram jig head, that's exactly that. So anything where you would fish that, so bass fishing, lighter bass fishing, around estuaries, around groins again, in rivers, this is what I'm thinking of. I am thinking larger river fishing for perch, for pike, for zander. Obviously quite a big profile. I've got one out here. I love this color. Look at this absolute beauty. Here we go. So you can see kind of the size of it. That is either a big perch snack, or a pikey snack, or a zander snack, or a bass snack. Yeah, big wrasse will nail that as well. Here we go. So what are we looking at? We're looking at a very realistic bluegill imitation. Obviously designed for largemouth bass again. So, because obviously they love to feed on those fellas. Over here, obviously, what could it imitate? It could imitate a perch, it could imitate a bream, it could imitate even a rudd or a roach, so anything slightly higher in profile. In the saltwater, it can imitate a wrasse, it can imitate a sea bream. Lots of fish that are prey actually have this shape, so this is again a very versatile lure to fish. Obviously integrated weight, so I would say if the whole lure weighs about 21 grams, I think that's probably a 10, 12 or 10 gram weight in there, maybe 12 gram weight in there. We have a paddle tail, again quite a large paddle tail, as you can see. There we go, and then we've got a nice and quite long, but again thin tail root, so this is gonna go absolutely mental in the water. I might link you a video down below where you can see it underwater. There's quite a few nice ones on YouTube where you can see the action on this lure. We've got little, you see the fins there, little pectoral fins sticking out. That's always nice for some extra vibration, extra micro vibrations. Underneath you see a little UV point on this pattern, obviously bright UV, something close to the head to bam, nail it and focus the fish on. But I haven't spoken actually about the most unique feature this has, and is a patent pending from Megabass actually. some of you might have asked themselves, how am I gonna hook a fish with this? Well, this lure has an incredible little feature where it hides the hook in the fin, in the dorsal fin. So the dorsal fin, if you look at it, is actually, if I can show it like that, is actually split in two, and in between you have an ultra sharp hook that will pop out as soon as anything bites onto it and nail your predator absolutely confidently. Those hooks are incredibly sharp again, but it will obviously pull really nicely through a weed. So that's what it's designed for. Obviously largemouth bass, they sit in cover all the time, but it's not like our predators do anything different. If you're fishing weed beds for anything, perch, pike, don't underestimate zander near weed beds either. This one, pulling this one right close to the weed, right through the weed if you want to, obviously for the wrasse or for the bass if you're fishing shallow in those in any of the kelps or anything. This lure will absolutely glide through beautifully, and as soon as a predator will nail down on it, the upper, so it is a solid lure all the way, if I don't know if you can see it, up to there, and this is hollow. Not only the fin will give way, but the upper half of the lure, if you see, will give way as well and create a big space for the hook to grip your fish. I love these lures. Little disclaimer, I haven't actually fished them. I don't get out fishing a lot at the moment, but you know that's what I'm all about. All the gear, no idea. Guys, come on, grab one. Any questions, pop them below in the comments. I know they're not cheap, but they're worth it. One other little thing, as much as this is usually a straight retrieve kind of lure, if you look at it, really nice and stable, obviously, with the profile like that, nice and slim profile, so it will stay really nice and stable. It will sit on the bottom as well, so it does have quite a flat lower side, so you can rest it on the bottom as well and it won't fall over straight away. So yeah, that is the sleeper Gill from Megabass, available. And what have we got? We've got this color, which is called Black Gill, so black with some blue stripes. We have got, I always, especially for low light, I really like a pink. Yeah, so first and last light, really nice, clear pink, I think, or pink back gill actually. And do we have anything else? We had like a breamy color that I wanted. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, and something really nice and natural. So this is obviously it's called MP Gizzard, but it's obviously a shad kind of imitation, but yeah, sea bream in the salt, normal bream, roach, etc. in the fresh. Very nice and natural presentation. That is the Sleeper Gill. And let's move over to the Dark Sleeper. Come on, guys. How cute are they? I mean, absolutely incredible. What are we looking at here, as in what are we imitating here? We are obviously imitating a little bottom dwelling something creature. In the freshwater, I'm obviously thinking little miller's thumbs, etc. in between the rocks, kind of darting around. In the freshwater, in the salt water, I'm thinking gobies, etc., which is, I guess, the original idea. Gobies as well, available now in freshwater, obviously, if you're looking at the mainland Europe, Netherlands, Germany, etc. and one of the main food sources for all the predators. Perch get absolutely humongous feasting on these relatively slow fish compared to other silverfish. So quite a lot of predators, especially zander and perch, have really kind of, and then saltwater as well, the bass obviously, they've really kind of, they focus onto the bottom dwelling species because they are generally slightly easier to catch than a lot of the silverfish in mid-water. These are both 10 grams now. The same size comes in 7 grams as well. The length is 2.4 inch on the 7 and 10 grams, and then we have for the slightly larger applications, got the 3.8 inch version in, which again is the same weight as this, so full lure weight, 3/4 of an ounce. Again, 1 ounce is 28 grams, so this will be 21 grams. Bass, zander, big perch, pike. Come on, guys. And again, same patent pending system, obviously. Ouchie, there's a hook there, careful. Hidden away. So this will very nicely pull through vegetation as well. Even more so, so obviously compared to this one, woo! Bye-bye. Compared to the sleeper gill, this is obviously a lure which is really designed to be presented on the bottom. So you've got a very flat profile there. So this will very beautifully just always sit upright. And I would also, especially like with the lighter weights, give it a few tucks, boop, give it a few tucks, boop, give it a few tucks, boop, and the predators, they will suck it off the bottom as well. Absolutely no issue. Again, the wider obviously the body is, this is not only the body, the weight is actually the same width. So this is actually solid in the front there. So the wider that body is, same. You remember with the Raid head swimmer Libero, yeah, if you look from the bottom, actually not very different profile. The wider this is, the harder it is for the lure to slip in between gaps of stones, yeah, small gaps, if you're fishing rocks, because we want to be fishing rocks, guys. We want to be fishing rocks if we're fishing for perch and for zander. We want to be fishing any piles of rocks. That's where they really tuck into, yeah, especially if you're fishing a larger river with not a lot of cover anywhere. If you find the rocks, guys, fish around those rocks and fish them really hard, and don't just kind of fish them a few casts and then leave. Fish those rocks. The fish will always be around there. There will always be fish around there. And change your lures a few times. Maybe they want to see something different. Maybe they want to see a little extra vibration. You give them a little of these heads from the Liberos. Maybe they want to see something like this. Maybe they want to see a little TRD, something very low profile. Give him a Z-Man TRD, you know, but do fish around those rocks. Fish around the rocks, guys. Yeah, and that's it. Few colors on those. So you've seen this one, really nice and kind of natural little goby color. Please excuse me that please excuse my ignorance. I'm not quite sure how they're all called. Then something slightly more funky. I love that color actually. Slight little stripes and stuff. So that can very well imitate a little wasp. This is the one, clear pink actually, that's called. So I always, if it's available, I will always try to get a pink pattern in of any lure, because first and last light, pink is my absolute favorite. Stems back from fishing early mornings and dark and late evenings for zander. I I remember once I only had a pink lure, or I had a pink lure on, and I was fishing into the evening, and as soon as the light level dropped a little bit, I started getting bit, and then I kind of started implementing that. And generally I am not a huge color fanatic, or you need to change colors here and there. I like my contrasts. I like to think of you know, you've got a bit murkier water, you know, go a bit darker in your color to throw a stronger contrast to the fish, so to help the fish see the lure. Go a bit lighter and clearer water. There's people and good friends of mine who go really dark and clear water. It's all obviously quite subjective, but one thing that I believe in is pink and low light. Think what you want of it, but that is my recommendation for the day. My recommendation number 1 is buy the Head Swimmer Libero. Recommendation 2 is buy, well, the unpacked one just fell down, so I'm going to show you one in the package. Buy this fella, Sleeper Gill, if you want to fish in the weed, and definitely buy one of these ones because they're just cute and they're really nice and versatile, and you'll snag up some perch, some chub, and some saltwater species on it as well. Absolutely. Fish rocks, fish pink in low lights, and why don't we, you know what, why don't we do a little giveaway? Okay, I'm giving away, what do you need to do? So I'm giving away, and it's got to be 3 different people, it can't be the same person. In the comment section below, I want you to tell me what you are going to use this exact lure for. 10 gram dark sleeper in this little natural goby color, and I will tell you how that color is called. That color is called Donko. And if I think what you're going to be using it for is worth having this lure, I will choose that comment and you will have that lure. Obviously you need to comment. I choose that comment. You do need to subscribe, and you do need to have the bell clicked, otherwise obviously you're not eligible. Come on guys, use your brain. I am, because it's already open, going to give away a whole pack of the 5 gram Head Swimmer Libero from Raid Japan in, was it Juketsu? Yeah, in white or pearl. Actually, you know what, to make it fairer, I'm gonna give away, so 4 people can win, I'm gonna give away 1 lure and a spare body, and to another person 1 lure and a spare body as well, so basically half the pack. So 1 person is getting this exact lure, 1 person is getting this, and 1 person is getting this. So that's the other half of that pack of the Head Swimmer Libero. And the 3rd person, and tell me as well about the Head Swimmer Libero. Quite a complicated name. Head Swimmer, swimming, head, Libero, Libero, free, not quite sure. And the 4th person will be able, and I'm not gonna go down there because it fell down there, but it is actually exactly this lure, will have this lure. Tell me what you're going to fish this lure for, in which spot, for what species. Spot, obviously you need to give me GPS coordinates, and you need to give me species and what time of the year is best to fish there. Obviously, otherwise you're not eligible, huh? Joking. So yeah, giveaway, subscribe, comment, bell, ding dong, and yeah, and then I will choose, and I hope lots of people will take part in this. because I would like this video to be watched by lots of people and lots of people to buy my new amazing Japanese stuff, so I can get you more amazing Japanese stuff into the UK, and I can do much more or many more of these videos and can do many more giveaways. So it's a give and take, guys. Yeah, so let's do it. Tight lines, and I'll see you on the bank.